Welcome to Thailand. Not exactly. We're in Portugal. Actually, we're about 40 minutes from Fatima. And yeah, this is the largest Buddha park in Europe. It's strange because I found this place by complete accident. I found it on Google Maps. I thought, oh, let's have a look and take a look at this. It's absolutely fantastic. Apparently the guy that built this park was so annoyed at how many monuments in Asia were being destroyed that he built this park here in Portugal in the north, not far from Lisbon, and it's become a massive tourist attraction, and it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, you would not think that you were in Portugal. You would think you were in Asia, maybe in China. Around the corner you would think you were in Japan, maybe Thailand or Burma. And it's become this park of relaxation. But yeah, here we are. So let's go and have a look at the main attraction here, which is the main Buddha. Now I'm not sure exactly what part of Asia this is from, but we'll take a look this way. I've just done a circuit just to show you. Now I'm not sure if I was meant to wear a mask. And there's some people not wearing masks. Let's take a look at the huge Buddha up here. So you've got the two gods either side, one at the back there. I've had to do part of this film on my phone as the battery's running out, but let's take a look. Wow, definitely a photo op. But take a look at the view. I mean, that is fantastic. You've got the cypress trees in the background, the hills, the river, and a little cafe, and people posing for photos, just like me. Now, there is supposed to be a train that goes from down the street there, and we're going to hop on that and do the tour around and maybe see a bit more, save the legs. But wow. We've got a close-up here of the river and the terracotta army. I don't know how well this is coming out on the picture, but can you see all the cork trees? These are quite famous in Portugal with the amount of cork that's produced here. But even in Asia, they're known for their cork. So you'll see the trees are cut, the bark's taken off. That's used for cork production, leaving a little bit on the top, and the rest of it takes about 10 years to regrow. And every 10 years, the same process is done time and time again. Now I don't know how well you can see this, but in the far corner between the two dragons you've got the prayer flags. They're the same prayer flags that are seen all over Tibet. So you've got these big pillars here, the Japanese sort of river, little pagoda.
Portanto, chegamos à terceira paragem daqui a 5 local onde partimos e vai terminar a viagem na estação. Obrigado.
I've always found the Buddhas are quite interesting sort of symbols, characters. I don't know what the right terminology is, but I used to have this craze as a kid of collecting little Buddha figures. And take a look, I mean, we've got lots of them everywhere, including the one behind me. And yeah, I stopped collecting them for a little while, but it just becomes clutter. But I always found the Asian culture to be quite interesting. It's different from what we're used to, especially in the West. So to see something like this, it's sort of a nice little compromise. And take a look at the river behind us, the little pagoda there, the columns. It's really relaxing. And it's amazing that somebody had put so much love and care into making this park. After so many wars and battles, things have got lost or damaged over time out in Asia. This reconstruction, I guess you could call it, has become something quite a novelty of the country. I mean, you would not think this is Portugal, but it is. And as well with Portugal's links to Asia, you know, it used to have Macau as one of its former colonies. There is a big Chinese influence, especially Japanese and so on. But yeah. So we're going to walk along to the bridge, the Pagoda Bridge. But take a look at the bamboo. It's almost perfect. I mean, imagine trying to grow bamboo like that nice yellow colour. Might be a specific type, I have no idea. I know nothing about plants. But it's good. But take a look at the river. It is so pretty. Let's carry on this way. We're going to get a better look now at the Terracotta Army. The Terracotta Army with more Buddhas in the background. And we've got some horses up the top there. What else we got? It's definitely quite oriental. And then this nice green with more Buddhas and Japanese shrines. But yeah, it's quite nice. It's a bit windy today, so but let's have a look. Yeah. And to be honest, they are pretty life size. Obviously they're made out of ceramic, painted blue. But you've got some big ones, some slightly smaller. They go all the way along right to the end there. Now let's go back this way and take a look at the bridge. Right, so heading over to the bridge now. It's obviously covers this side right to the other side, as you can see, and these Japanese shrines all dotted all over the place, right along this riverbank. Obviously at one time this wasn't a river, this is all man-made, but nonetheless it's quite authentic looking. Walking across the Japanese bridge. There's seeing something at the end there that I want to have a look at. I would say it looks something like Easter Island. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look.
And
See if we can increased by these people. And take a look. Wow, look in front. We've got a proper Japanese looking shrine. All the different levels, different pillars. It's almost temple looking. And then you got the cork tree. Let's have a look along here. And in the river, what have we got? We've got some ducks and some goldfish. Could I have goldfish and carp? Sort of reminds me of the bonsai museum that the bonsai museum and the guest house that we were staying at in Sintra. Very. Let's take a look at the big face I was on about. I walked straight past it. So let's take a look. Here we are. He's definitely not from Easter Island. He's from something, but pretty big. I've seen that there used to be three, 1, 2 and 3. Now there's only one. They're built in 2 sections, or 3, top part, middle part, bottom part. And then we've got the fountain next door. Oh, we've got it here. We've got it here. Now, I don't know if you can read that. Bodhisattva. I can't pronounce that, but Lord who regard all, personifies compassion, one of the most widely worshipped divinities in all of Asia. There we go. And some more water. Just like in Fatima. This country's got a thing about water. But then saying that, water is what we all need. We can't live without it. So I guess it's kind of fitting in that sense. And then we've got the park here, the pagoda again. Let's walk up this way. Past the pagoda, not the pagoda, the what do you call it? Japanese temple. Now there's a sign here. Let's see what it's called. Stone lanterns used on special occasions like offerings of light ceremony associated with the deceased. Ah, so similar to what we do. We sometimes light a candle for somebody who's died. Here we have a huge lantern used in the same sort of context, I guess. And we've got another view of the Buddhas at the end there. Another one of these little temples. Ah, this is a pagoda. This is a pagoda, right. According to the Buddhist literature, pagodas were built for the purpose of preserving the remains of the, how do you say that? Sakyamuni, this one here, the founder of Buddhism. There we go. Well, this little relic-y or relic holder, definitely a nice place, overlooking this beautiful river. Got olive trees. And then we've got some palm trees in amongst the cypress trees. Well guys, we did it. We explored the largest Buddha park in the whole of Europe, here in the northern region of Portugal. And yeah, it's quite interesting. It was different. Only yesterday we were in Fatima, the land where Mary appeared, that means so much to so many Christians. And then we come here, a little way away from Fatima, to the Buddha Park, where it means so much to people all across Asia. 2 different things, 2 different religions. Quite interesting. So yeah, and I guess that's the end of our journey. I've now got to head back further down south to the Algarve to go to a doctor's appointment, and it's been fun. So until the next video, until the next journey, see you later. Greetings from Almendres. This is Portugal's Stonehenge, and I wasn't going to carry on the video. I was going to finish it at the Pagoda Park, but then coming this way I saw this site on the map and I thought, oh, I'll have to stop off and show you guys. Last time I was here was about 10 years ago, and I thought, oh, it's an interesting little spot, and yeah, have a look. It's interesting that unlike Stonehenge in the UK, this is free. You don't have to pay to come in. There's not hordes of tourists, there's not gift shops and entry fees or anything like that. Completely free. Obviously there's park rangers that go around checking to make sure you're not doing anything. But surprisingly, none of the stones have been vandalised or anything. They've been here for thousands of years. Like Stonehenge, nobody knows why they're here. Some people have theories. Maybe it's a way of telling positions of the stars. Others say it's like a sacred burial site, blah blah blah. But other than that, it's a place now for people to come and have a look. And as you can see, there's quite a few of them. I mean, they're all different shapes and sizes. And the strange bit is we're surrounded by cork trees right the way round the perimeter, which goes on for miles and miles and miles. These rocks obviously weren't from here, they were from different parts of the country, but somehow they ended up right here. You can come to a park like this and it's a gift to the nation. People can come here on a Sunday afternoon and explore and not be charged 30 quid to go in. And so you've got a car park, free. You don't have to pay a parking meter or anything like that. So it's nice, it's a really pretty site, quite historical. And obviously at one time it had a meaning. But anyway, let's take a look around. I mean, as you can see, they're in odd sort of shapes, sizes, different positions. You've got clearing here, but over there they're all scattered around. I mean, how about this one? You've got a oval shaped one here. Looks like some sort of altar slab for some sacrifice. I don't know, I'm just making it up, I have no idea. But yeah, as you can see, there's a few tourists about. I heard a few German voices, but maybe some Spanish, but it is quite a way off the beaten track. I'll show you in the video the route over here. That's quite interesting. Tarmac doesn't exist in this part of the country. Even though we're only, I don't know, a couple of hours from the border of Algarve, maybe 3 hours, something like that. Not too far away. But yeah, take a look. It is quite impressive. I like the way you've got this clearing and then you've got the olive trees in the background. It sort of mixes human or man-made structures with nature in this nice little park that has become. I wonder what actually happened here so many thousands of years ago. Why were these stones placed here? What was the reasoning? There must be something, but nobody seems to know. Even the notice board has no explanation whatsoever. But I think they've done excavations here over the years. And remember, here in Portugal is where they found several thousand-year-old human remains that some of the oldest in Europe. Now they're slowly discovering different ideas of where we came from as people. It's also a place where they found skulls that have elongated heads, almost like aliens. I think it's been on one of those funny channels like Ancient Aliens or something like that. But yeah, it is really cool. So I just found the ultimate altar slab. I think this is the main one. This is where they did many sacrifices on, or so they say. Let's take a look, take a seat on the altar slab of Almendres. Unlike Stonehenge, you can't even sit on the altar slab. You could be miles away, like right over there, behind a barrier. So, this is for the English authorities. Stonehenge, eat your heart out. Right, so let's take a walk over this way. Have a look at the notice board and the other stones at this end. As you can see, I'll try and pan around. You've got stones right around this sort of semicircle, some doubling up, and you get others like this big one here. Right slap bang in the centre. Nobody knows quite why. Obviously they've cemented them in over time, but it's amazing how they got them here. How did they bring these huge boulders from so far away, and how did they stand them upright? There's been many tests obviously in the UK of how did that happen, but I'm guessing it's the same sort of principle, the same idea is here in Almendres as well. How, what, why? Again, we've got the cork trees. Some of these have been stripped of their bark, obviously some time ago. You can see where they cut the bark around here. Slowly it's starting to grow back. As we've learnt, it takes about 10 years for the bark to grow. Then they strip it again and again and again. And these guys are having a look at the sign as well. The Megalithic rocks of Evora, you could say. But with the sun damage, it's a bit hard to actually read the signs. Obviously, look, you've got several of them all dotted around. You've got this one, there's another one further down, and then so on. But we are at this one right here, Almendres, which is the main one. You've got several down at the bottom here. Some at the side, obviously Evora right here, and then we've got some bigger ones, Val Maria di Mello, and so on. See, this is a little drawing of them, and all little stone huts. But let's have a look this side. We've got something that's a bit better. It explains the layout of the place. So we're obviously bit back here, and we've got some with carvings on, so let's try and have a look for those. There's that one right in the centre, so we'll go and have a look. Prehistoric Monument, and look, archaeological research was taken out between the 70s and 90s, so obviously they were doing excavations here. But let's try and have a look for these carved stones. I didn't quite catch that, so we'll have a look. Well, I seem to have failed. I couldn't find any with any carvings on. I had a good look round, spent a good 10-15 minutes, but what I did find was this one. I love how over time it's worn away and shown this sort of pink, sort of pinkish tinge to it, obviously different rock layers. But it's so cool, so pretty, and so different to the rest of them. I mean, take a look, grey, 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 pink right down the centre there. Obviously that's not anything that was done by the people who were here. That was simple erosion. But I'm still trying to find these ones with the carvings in. I tried matching it up the best I could from memory. I took a photo as well, but I could not find the actual location. I'm just looking here at these ones. Bear in mind that today is pretty hot. It's still 45, 46 degrees. Oh, this one's interesting. How it's sort of gone all knobbly, obviously from thousands of years of wear and tear. but still not any I can see which have any inscriptions on. Obviously some here have been chiseled away. I don't know if this is natural or what, but some it looks like it may be a repair of some sort, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is Almendres, and like I said, it's the Portuguese substitute of Stonehenge. Probably in my opinion it's better. I did Stonehenge when I was a kid on a school trip, but again, you could only see them from a distance. You couldn't get up close unless you're in Stonehenge on solstice, where you are allowed in amongst the stones, but obviously you can't touch them like you can here. But some people might say, oh, but it's to preserve the stones. It's a rock, you know. Yes, it's of cultural heritage, but don't start charging a ridiculous fee for something that here, a smaller country, you can do for free. It's you could say it's why we pay taxes. Maybe I shouldn't get too political, but that's my opinion. I think things like this shouldn't, if there is a charge, it should be reasonable, not like close on 40 quid. But anyway, yeah, take a look. The only difference is the car park is way over that way. So we've got a bit of a walk, but a nice one. It's really hot, sunny, but at least it's not pouring with rain. Like I said, the last time I came here was at least 10 years ago. But nothing seems to have changed. I was partly expecting a ticket booth or something as I drove up, but still nothing. There is a few gift shops en route. You can get a t-shirt with the Almendres picture on it, but other than that, very little has changed. But I think somehow they've widened this path, because years ago it used to be only a small little trail. Obviously with Portugal having a tourist boom over the years, especially in the last 10 years, they've obviously made it a bit more welcoming for tourists. But thankfully no charges, or at least not charges that are extortionate. But I heard a few German voices, some French voices, so there's some tourists about. I'm quite surprised because it's not exactly on the tourist track. We're at least 30 minutes from Evora, which is where we're heading next, and I've got a little plan of somewhere to show you. So I'll see you at Evora. Heading back to the car park, I noticed this. I saw this on the way in, and I thought, I'm going to have to show you guys, so I thought I'll do it on the way back. I just remembered it. Is this the good old Almendres notice board with, again, we are here, you've got the path here down to the trail. Obviously it goes further off in a different way, and obviously you've got the circuit. I think I didn't quite follow the circuit, but and all the warnings, blah 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 blah, the parking information. But what interested me was around here, on this side, where everybody's left a token of where they're from. And one that really did interest me was this one, Russia, Podolsk, a city or a region of Moscow, which I've been to many times. It's amazing that somebody from Podolsk, captravel.ru, somebody from one of the old cap travel has been up here, from Russia, all that way. Got Germany, Portugal, Spain, maybe some Dutch. But yeah, everybody's left some sort of memento. I should have bought some sort of sticker to slap on the back. I don't think you're meant to, but interesting. Right, Evora, let's go. So we just arrived in Evora. This is a quite historic city built on the foundations of an old Roman city. And in front of us is something quite interesting. It's the cathedral here. It's a huge 12th century cathedral, completely covered with human bones. It's the bone chapel. It's a bit different to the one that I saw back in Alcantarilla, which is a small chapel no bigger than your average living room. But this is something else. chapel. Take a look. All the pillars done out in skulls. All the walls. All the way around. Even if you look up at the top, up on the ceiling, you've got the bones going, or the skulls, sorry, going right over the beams. It's definitely better than, what do you call it? It's better than Alcantarilla. Alcantarilla is just one section of this. So behind me is 2 full skeletons that used to be hanging up around here. And they're still here today. Apparently this person and the baby, they were both cursed in the 16th century, well, not that long ago, when they were taken down and obviously preserved. There we got the bishop's tomb, the altar, and yeah, it's interesting, it's morbid. I'm just trying to read these little plaques. I think it's all more or less the same sort of inscription that tells you what they're around. Let's take a look. It's interesting how they put the skulls around the frame of the window. But it's amazing. Even deep in the corners, you've got the skulls, bones, hip bones, and you've got this weird display all around the doorway. You can see that these ones are sort of inverted. These are done horizontal. These are done vertical, in this weird sort of pattern. And this gruesome sort of display up the top here. Done almost like a skull and crossbones like the pirates. But it's really cool. What most people don't realise is this cathedral is it's a museum. So you've not only got the bone chapel over there, but you've got collections of different historical artifacts. Lots which were taken from the local monasteries, so we're going to go and have a look, see what else there is. I love to look around here. You've got all the Moorish collection of tiles. These tiles are incredibly old, and then you've got the blue tiles in front that were so popular many hundreds of years ago. Take a look at this. This altar front. It's amazing how well preserved it is. Let's take a look around. You've got the old nativity things. See the one up there as well. Heaven. These blue tiles. Man. You've got the main altar. Alright, so let's go and see what we've got. It would be useful if I actually read the signs. I didn't realise you could actually walk inside it, so we'll take a look. Let's go this way. Let's see. It's so beautiful. Ridiculous. Literally everywhere you go in this city, there's people. Everybody's on holidays. Is it okay? Yeah. See if we can walk through here. Just go back and look at that. Wow, take a look. I've not seen anything like this where you can actually walk into an altar. But look at the ceiling, how nicely carved it is. Obviously you've got the communion, the bread and wine. It's quite amazing that this has been preserved. Obviously it's been touched up over time to keep it fresh, I suppose, the renovations, but yeah, let's go and have a look. Got the Stations of the Cross. And we've got the museum, which is where we can head to now. So we've got some art to look at. Obviously these are quite old paintings. We've got various ones by various painters. Look at these ones. God, he looks happy, doesn't he? And let's see who he is. This is... oh, St. John the Evangelist. And then we've got over here St. John the Baptist. Obviously a much younger version. Let's have a look at these ones, these are pretty old. Oh look, these must have been from the old chapel. Let's have a look. St. Anthony there. The Calvary of St. Francis and St. Anthony, 17th century oil painting, almost similar to an Orthodox icon, like one of the older ones. And we've got the crucifix here, 18th century, getting a bit more modern, but still quite ornate. And then we've got that famous scene of Jesus washing the feet, obviously around Easter time, and on Maundy Thursday, that night before he was crucified, he was washing the disciples' feet when they were having the Last Supper. And quite a nice image. And what's this we got here? This is a cross from the 17th century. Ah, so this one is older than this one. And it looks like the figure of Jesus is made out of bone. Maybe even ivory, I'm not sure. So we're going to head this way. We'll look over here now. See what else there is. Our lovely statues. They're quite different. Don't see many of these in, especially in the UK. But got St. Clair, looking very grand in her robes, and St. Francis again. St. Francis, you always know who St. Francis is. He's got that solemn look on his face with the cross. Sometimes a baby Jesus. But occasionally you see figures like this and they dress them with clothes made out of real fabric, just to make them look a bit more authentic. And you've got a little kid who's singing. What else have we got? We've got a choir in the background, but we've also got this painting. Oh, there's me looking like I actually know what I'm talking about. I have no clue about anything about art. I'm just reading the signs. So, put your goggles on. Who's this one? St. Francis and St. Clair. Okay, this must be the St. Francis and St. Clair room. If it's not, that's what we're going to name it. So we've got St. Francis, St. Clair. We've got the host, the bird up the top of the angels around it, and then their figures here. What I do love about this is really cool, because outside it's like plus 40. And then walking over here, these look pretty old. Let's see. St. Clair again. What's betting the next one is St. Anthony. Nope, it's St. Francis. Which is But look at the wood. So you're not going to touch it, but it's incredibly old. Again, it's 15th century, even older. It's amazing that some of these things have survived. Many times they get lost over centuries. Oh look, we've got some figures. These are kind of cool. I think these are more modern. Who are these of? Doesn't say. Does it say? St. George. Famous St. George with his dragon. The patron saint of England, but also, Wales. George and dragon. But also the patron saint of Moscow, funny enough. But yeah, St. George. And then we've got Our Lady of Guidance. See Mary with her, with Jesus holding an orb. 16th century. You know, look at the fine detail. It's amazing that this has lasted so long. You know, like even down to the fingers. They haven't even chipped to anything. It's been preserved quite well. Let's have a look. It's a bit difficult to talk with a mask on, but I'm trying my best. Who is this? Hello, Our Lady. Another version of... She's on a chair. I think it doesn't look like Mary, but it says Our Lady, so it's obviously a saint. It's either Mary or a saint, I can't quite tell. But quite regal. We've got our little friend back again. She's quite a grand looking, different figure of Mary again. With the cherubs at the bottom, looking quite bold sort of appearance. And we've got this tapestry. And we've got these at the end here. We've got the I can't remember the name in English. What the English equivalent would be? It's like a sacristy, like where the bread would be held during Mass. Not every Sunday, but on special occasions. For the completely forgot the name of it now. Eucharist or benediction. We held in these. I want to call it a monstrous, but I don't think it's called that. It must have the name here somewhere. But they would hold that up, say prayers to it, and you've got all different ones, different sizes. This one's obviously the biggest. And you've got these little reliquary holders. More reliquary holders. Plaque. And then the goblets that they use for the wine. These would have been made out of precious metals, sometimes encrusted with precious stones, sometimes even diamonds or rubies. Let's see what we've got here. This is, let's have a look, take a look at the notice. The standard of the Third Order of Penance. Oh, it's used in Lent, obviously with the purple. This was obviously a canopy that was used. And here we've got St. Francis. This room. Wow. Got some historical text. So got some covers, plates. So number 11. Book of the Third Order of the Seraphic Fathers of St. Francis. When was it? 1675. Wow, 1675, and it's still here. Right, so they're outside, and apparently we're going to be looking at the Nativity collection. Not exactly my thing, because I saw some downstairs and there was because people were illiterate. They couldn't read, so they'd make figures to explain the story. So you'd have Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, and then the other figures. Over time the figures changed, the three kings and such. Sometimes, like in Catalonia, you have an image of a guy taking a poo. I'll put a link to it right now. But yeah, take a look. We've got all different versions of the Nativity. This one's quite ornate, quite different. Three kings out of the back. Even more sort of figures, it's sort of done in tiers. This one for choir at the background. All sort of old versions of the same thing. This one's quite nice because it's done in the typical style. And this one. But let's have a look down here, let's see. All sorts of pretty ones. Obviously this one's done out in bone or tusk. Or carving, I don't know how much you can see. That's quite interesting. See the wooden sculptures. And then all different versions. And it goes on right the way through here. Wow, even more. Here we've got the icons, the relics. Some of them have parts of fabric belonging to a certain saint, etc., embedded into the icon. But all these different sort of versions of the Nativity are all through these corridors. How about this one in the dome? You've got the dome here, the Nativity happening there, one done in ivory, another one. This one done like a fairy tale castle. Baby Jesus in a floral display. This one's almost very Japanese, sort of Asian, sort of inspired version. Interesting, right. Let's go to the next one. Right, it gets samey, you know. Oh, this one's kind of cool. It's very Russian. And so on. Look, Russian dolls. And then here, of course, you've got to have the Pagoda egg. I remember seeing many of these in Russia. And then we've got more around here. These would have been carefully painted, all by hand. There's nothing done in a workshop of a computer. It's all done by memory, by hand, by hours of concentration. There's nothing digital about it. But at home I've got some lovely the eggs painted. Obviously not as good as that, but mine I think are digitally painted. But anyway, let's carry on. Now, something I wanted to show you was in here, but I can't get in here, and I don't know how to. I don't know if it's a different part of the church, but take a look. Look at this. This was obviously the chapel originally. You've got the altar there, Jesus in a tomb, and then look at that. Amazing. The problem is, I've got no idea how to get in there, and nobody can tell me. So that's the best we can do, is to look inside from this side bit that we're not allowed into. Maybe it's a different entrance, I have no idea, but anyway, let's make our way forward. We'll go towards the exit and have a look around Evora to the church. I don't know if this is the same one. This might not link into the same parts that I was looking at earlier, but let's take a look. Wow. Everywhere you look, it's tiled. With these sort of 3D images, these old wooden carvings. Greeting of a medieval grave. Wow, take a look. More little shrines. Tiny votive candles. Wow. It's pretty amazing. I think this is the same chapel. I mean, have a look. It's amazing. Right, let's head this way. We have more. Look at these, the granite and the marble pillars surrounding. That's right the way around. Let's go this way. As you can see, every corner is covered with a chapel. And every part of the main floor in here has a tomb of a monk or a well-known person in the town at a certain time. Look at the image of Mary, obviously much more modern. This is the image of Our Lady of Fatima. Let's see if we can get through. Wow. Look, you've got Francisco on the side and Jacinta. Two children, two of the three that saw Mary back in 1917. It's amazing, every inch is covered with some sort of gold. So cool. Wow, look at this one. Remember, these places aren't just museums, they're still used today. And then we come up here. Oh, this is beautiful. Every part gold. And then these beautiful frescoes. Seems to be more in the corner. Let's have a look. It's like a private chapel. Wow. This is obviously the priest's private quarters. Now take a look at this. This must have been some sort of meeting room back in the day. Let's have a look at the sign. Third Order of St. Francis. So this is where the bishops, the clergy, maybe the monks would have gathered at this table to talk about their business, how to continue funds for restoration projects, how to raise money, raise awareness and such on. But look at the ceiling, wow. Impressive. I think that normally you wouldn't be able to see this, but now it's been nationalised. Yes, it's still a place of belief, a place of worship, sorry. It's not a monastery anymore, so those parts are open. But still. This is probably one of the most beautiful churches I've ever been to. Let's see. This was where I was looking at earlier, saying I don't know how to get in. Turn the corner, there's the main door. But I don't know how far we can see. Oh, we might be able to see just inside. See, look, there's Jesus in the corner, and there's the altar at the side. That was where we were looking in, and I said, didn't have a clue how to get in here, and then I saw the main door was open, part of the entry fee. Obviously the church part is free. The bone chapel, obviously, all of that £3.50, so you can't complain. But look, I mean, these beautiful pillars, all done in gold leaf. Mary in the corner with the Christ child, the saints, these beautiful jades. Now I think we should probably do a donation of some sort. Because places like this aren't cheap to keep operating, so let's do €1. And then the candle should, oops, no it didn't. I was going to say the candle should, well this one's not working, this probably Evora. Maybe it's not enough. Maybe we should do a donation, as we didn't pay to get in. Right, that's not working, is it? The candle bit isn't working, so we're going to just put it in the donation box, I think. But wow, what a place. I found a donation box. Well, as a cathedral, it's been amazing.